Not speak.
No, I don't. Excuses go in one ear and they go out the other. I don't.
That changed. But it was something wrong with the device. I got a whole.
They're saying it. There's nothing wrong with it.
I got a whole new one. And I even started to do like so put it on a new one. It was too tight. I went back to like.
You must charge the thing every.
It was because like it makes like a sound when you plug it in. It says charging begun, and then when you unplug it, it says charging has stopped. And then I called like 2 days before the 10th, the 7th or the 8th. And I told him like it's not making the noise no more. So I wouldn't know if it was charging or not charging or dead or nothing. It wouldn't talk to me no more.
I don't want any more issues.
Sure.
We have any more issues, you and I will have.
Notice how even small technical issues, like a malfunctioning device, can trigger serious warnings from the judge. This shows how the court treats compliance as non-negotiable. What do you think? Are judges too strict on these details, or is it necessary to keep order?
Problems. Do you understand? It is your responsibility. No more.
Sure.
All right, take a seat for me. I'll continue it, Rick. Any more?
It
That's.
was originally on March 6th, as one percent.
Do you want to keep March 6th?
Yes, Judge, we'll keep that date.
Okay, is discovery complete?
Yes, Judge. Discovery's complete.
Put an offer on the case?
There's a time served offer.
There is now? Time served, okay.
I had people working on it for.
I'll discuss
Well,
with,
they may be working on a mitigation, but. All right, Rick, it's in you. We'll see you March 9th, okay?
that'd be fine, Judge. Thank you.
All right, friend, or 6th, sorry.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ben. All right. Mr. Brown, you are charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On February 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. Upon arrival, officers met with the complaining witness, who stated that she and the defendant are married. The complaining witness stated that the defendant and she got into a verbal argument over prior infidelity. And the complaining witness stated that the defendant cornered her and headbutted her 5 times in her face, causing pain.
Any alcohol, anything like that as an allegation?
Judge, I don't believe so.
Mr. Brown, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. It appears that a protective order has been issued in this case. Get to know it. If you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and probably will file a violation of protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. What I normally do is I order no contact and no weapons unless I know that the complaining witness wants to have contact with you. At that point, if they do, I order no threatening or harassing contact, but you have to understand what is threatening or harassing. Doesn't matter what you think is threatening. I could care less what you think. It's what the other person perceives. So if I go like this, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is. And it can violate this court order and land you in jail. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with this person, but if it's something where you're constantly butting heads, there's a lot of vindictive people in this world. You got to be careful because you're the one that's on bond for this case. If they call and say, hey man, you're the one that's going to end up. You know what I mean? So those are the conditions now are no threatening or no harassing contact. I'm sorry, no contact and no weapons. I'll have Sebastian reach out to her. If she wants to change it, then you guys come back, let me know, and then that's what we do. All right? Okay, guys. Now, hold on. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, or you pick up a new case, or you're a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. You understand? Just all I want, be nice. That's all right? Okay, please. Thanks, guys.
On the Melania Smith matter, there's a issue about an extension of her probation.
She sounds like you did a DWI program, Judge.
Oh.
They requested a 3-month extension.
Where is Miss Smith?
She's here. Who is that?
Come up, Miss Smith.
The request was sent last week. They wanted 3 months for her to complete IFC SOP. She completed it over the weekend. Ashley granted a 3-month extension. We wasn't sure if they want to wait or. He's supposed to get off probation March 1st, but she owes $325. So we're waiting to see now if she wants to continue the extension or just allow her to.
Have you paid that money off?
That I just looked at was $240, and recently, like in the last 20 minutes, just paid that.
Oh, great. So everything's paid off.
Well, they're delinquent. According to my probation officer, they said if I was in good standing, then everything else, I wouldn't, I mean, there wouldn't be anything else I would actually have to pay. I finished.
I know. I think that you're supposed, I don't know.
He's supposed to get off March 1st. Initially, the extension was requested for IFPS. And said that she's satisfied that, they're okay with allowing her to terminate.
Great.
But because she has a $325 balance, they didn't make a decision on a 3-month extension.
But now she's satisfied that, right? So,
I don't see that on my end yet. I can double check.
so why don't we do this? Why don't we postpone it till later in the week? Because it takes so,
$220. I have my bank account that I can show.
no, but it has to reflect in the system though. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's not the end of the world. I'm sorry.
Swerve today.
I can waive your appearance. Don't worry about it. You know? But you can be here, right? Because if you've done everything that you've done, hopefully they're satisfied with everything and then we can be done once and for all. If you've paid what you need to pay and you're not delinquent anymore, that was all that was needed for it to happen, right? So hopefully that's sufficient for them to say, okay, we're happy. But it might take like a couple days for it to hit the system. That's the only problem. So why don't we postpone to Thursday? I'll waive the appearance. That way you don't have to miss a day of work. Come back. If they're okay with it, then they dismiss. If not, then we'll, I guess, cross that bridge when we get there.
If it's okay, I can make the appearance on Zoom.
Please, that's why we have it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so can you email them, Alex, and say, hey, that everything's done, she's paid?
I wasn't understanding. You also, because the amount, I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. Can you forward? Yeah.
Just stay in contact with him. That's it. Okay,
We can go and say no more.
yeah,
Okay.
have fun.
This is.
Mr. Guevara, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor, so you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 90 days in jail with credit for the 29 days that you've done.
Yes.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it stays like this on your record forever. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now he has, that he has 2 open DWIs?
Yes, to Your Honor, we're dismissing
They're
one.
dismissing one.
Yes, Judge.
Does he have an immigration detainment? Do you know?
I believe he
Yes,
does.
he
Your
has a
Honor.
hold, he
Yes.
said.
Mr. Guevara, is it true or untrue that you had a .15 or above? How do you plead to the offense, so guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Find you guilty. I will send you to the 90 days in jail. I am going to suspend your license for 1 year. Do not drive. You know, from now on, whenever you get pulled over, an officer is going to look at your record and they're going to see DWI.
Here's the real tension point: probation extensions and unpaid balances. For some, $300 might not sound like much, but for defendants, it can decide freedom or more court time. Do you think money should ever play this big a role in justice?
DWI, if they smell alcohol on you the next time you get pulled over, it's probably not going to go well for you. A 3rd DWI, you're looking at a 3rd-degree felony up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand? Get a clue. Good luck, Mr. Guevara.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You are Mr. Nieto. Mr. Nieto, you are charged with harassment. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 14th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance family call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated the defendant had already left the location and was down the street wearing a black sweater and blue jeans. The officer made contact with the defendant, who matched the description. The complainant stated she was washing dishes when she received a phone call from the defendant, who wanted to celebrate Valentine's Day with her and that he was coming over. The complainant noticed when the defendant arrived, he had already been drinking alcohol and brought over a new bottle of tequila. The defendant entered the residence, drank the entire bottle, and started belligerently yelling about his ex-wife. The complainant asked the defendant to leave. The defendant refused, and the defendant started breaking items in the house and threw a vase at the complainant, which she was able to dodge. The complainant eventually got the defendant out the door, and the defendant then threatened the complainant, stating, "If you don't let me inside the house, I'm going to send someone to shoot up the place." He said this several times. The complainant was in fear for her life, and the complainant is in a dating relationship of 5 years with the defendant, and the two live together.
What are you requesting?
We're requesting a MOAP, Your Honor, and no contact with the complainant.
I see a protective order has already been issued.
Is there an issue, Your Honor? Yes. So we're just wanting to make sure there's one issued. Okay.
So understand, Mr. Nieto, that I'm going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. As a condition of your bond, I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person, not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and to undergo random testing. The protective order has been issued. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate the protective order, the state can file more charges against you as violation of protective order. If you ever have any questions about what you can and cannot do, you can ask your lawyer and she can tell you what you can and can't do. Just be careful while you're in the jail, as all phone calls are recorded. Anything else?
Okay, that's all.
Okay,
We're waiving the bail hearing on both of these. So,
okay. All right, Mr. Nieto, good luck to you and good luck to you, sir. Okay, thanks, guys. So you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause again. They have the full report now, so we'll find out what happened. Okay.
Loading it right now. Okay. So on Sunday, February 9th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The complainant advised that she was going to a nearby gas station, Circle K, and a man she knows, the defendant, was waving a gun in the air and later pointed the gun at her vehicle. The complainant drove off the premises and called her mother, the witness, and the witness advised the defendant.
Not at her vehicle, towards.
Stop.
The defendant advised the defendant to come back to her house, and defending her daughter, she pointed her handgun at the defendant. The defendant advised that he went to the Circle K gas station and that he was carrying an airsoft gun because he was scared. He advised he waved the airsoft gun in the air, but never pointed at anyone directly. The officer detained the defendant and placed him in the back seat of the patrol vehicle. The defendant was cursed at deputies and tried to agitate. The defendant tried to threaten deputies for not assisting him in the way he wanted the incident handled. When he did not get his way, he damaged both rear seatbelts by cutting them with a knife found on his person. And the defendant would start to kick the doors, and bang on the cage. The estimated cost of damage to the patrol vehicle is $250.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mutombo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? If you violate this condition, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds, sir. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes.
Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
No, it's actually, I have a lawyer that I can speak to.
You sure you don't want a lawyer?
I would, yes. Let me apply for one. I would like one.
Okay, so I just need a little bit of information from you. Let me take a look at it and then I'll have you talk to someone here momentarily, okay? Just be nice when you're out there. I don't want any issues. I want my public safe. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public, all right? All right, so you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
It's easier that way.
I just see the one, right?
Sorry, Your Honor.
I just see one.
We only are aware of one. Something on one of the non-official websites said there was an FSGI also, but I'm only aware of one. That's all I have seen on the district clerk's website unless it's changed since this morning.
Do you see anything else,
John
Alex?
Smith.
Yeah.
Smith.
Do you just see the DWI?
I just did the DWI, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On February 14th, 2025, at approximately 4:50 hours, the officer observed the defendant operating his motor vehicle at the 2300 block of Rice Boulevard. The officer observed the defendant run a red light and crash into another vehicle, and observed the defendant then drive his vehicle from the scene of the crash past the officer. As the defendant was passing the officer observed him in the driver's seat of the vehicle and to be the sole occupant. The officer initiated a traffic stop and observed the motor vehicle from the time of the crash. Following that, the officer made contact with the defendant, and the defendant made a res geste statement stating, "Did you see the guy that hit me?" The officer came into contact with the defendant and noticed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, red, watery, bloodshot eyes, and the defendant was swaying. The officer ran his information, name, date of birth through NCIC, TCIC, and returned a valid driver's license photo belonging to the defendant. Standard filter sobriety tests were asked to be performed, and the defendant refused the test. The officer placed the defendant under arrest and transported him to JPC, where the defendant was read his DIC, to which the defendant refused. The officer then had a blood warrant signed and executed.
Okay. Mr. Smith, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer, because you do. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with him, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If they call on you to take a test, then you must come here to take the test. If you fail to appear, then a warrant for your arrest will be issued. I understand that you're going on a business trip, so you're still not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If you get called on for a test, at that point, you'll have to go to a Quest Diagnostics, wherever you're located. Hopefully, he's not out of the country at the time. I don't know how that
The
happened.
judge, he is planning on, he has tickets to go to, for business, Your Honor, not for pleasure, to go to Switzerland and then London for, how long will you be traveling?
I'll be traveling, leaving
Hopefully.
on Tuesday, and then I'll be traveling back the following Friday.
Okay, I don't think it'll be an issue. If
It's
it does, just keep
a week and
us
a
in the
half,
loop.
Judge.
Yeah, that's okay. Just keep us in the loop. You're not, I don't care where you're going.
Yes.
I don't care how big of a business party it is. You can't use.
Absolutely.
All right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have you sign a Risa Victoria. We'll have you get with Felicia Bunkers, and then you guys are good to go. All right?
Yes, sir. So he has permission to travel.
There's no travel restriction. Just don't drink. That's it. We have tests that can go back quite a ways. So we're going to find out. Right? Okay.
Thank you
guys,
very much, Your Honor.
fine. We're Billy Chapman. Mr. Chapman, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On February 10th, 2025, at approximately 2:08 a.m., the officers were in a parking lot of Reno's Bar, responding to a disturbance that had occurred at the business. While conducting the investigation, they heard a vehicle rev its engines multiple times, and the officers went to check on an individual inside the vehicle, but before the officers could check the vehicle, it took off at a high rate of speed, recklessly in the parking lot, and the officers called for an additional unit to search for the vehicle, and an officer responded. The defendant's vehicle circled the parking lot and returned to the scene, where the calling officer was able to initiate a traffic stop. The officers observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and red glossy eyes. The defendant was placed into custody for public intoxication due to a miscommunication between the officers, and it was later determined a DWI investigation was needed. Standard filter sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6. Walk and turn was attempted, but the defendant could not stand in the starting position and was constantly swaying. For the one-leg stand, 3 out of 4 clues were observed. The DIC was read, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were .154 and .149.
Is this stop for?
So they responded to a disturbance, and they heard a vehicle rev its engine, and he took off at a high rate of speed. So then they attempted to get it to reach that vehicle because it took off in the parking lot from what they describe a high rate of speed recklessly. And then it came back, and then they make contact.
Traffic infraction? High rate of speed is
Well-
conclusory as well.
Because initially they said the officer said he observed and heard an individual revving their engines, and then they were
Okay,
attempting to
but
check,
that's-
they were attempting to check inside the vehicle, and that's when it took off at a high rate of speed, recklessly in the parking lot, as they describe it. And then the vehicle circled the parking
All
lot.
of that is conclusory, all of that.
And I understand, Judge. And unfortunately, we do not have the OR at this time, so we can, if you give us a moment, we can see if there is an applicable traffic infraction.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a little bit of time.
Yes,
you know,
Judge.
But can you give me maybe 30 minutes?
Yes,
We can
sir.
revisit?
I'm gonna run somewhere else. I'll be right back.
Okay, take a seat,
Thank
please,
you,
sir.
Judge.
We'll be back with you here momentarily. I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. You have to understand, they give out DWIs like it's candy on Halloween. You know why? We lead the nation per capita in fatalities with alcohol-related collisions. Don't become a statistic. One button on a phone, one button, $30. An Uber will take you wherever you want to go. Use it. All right, take a seat.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Mr. Johnson, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, first offense. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow, so you were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're also charged with failure to stop and give information on that one. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You are making a lifetime decision today. You are making the decision where both of these cases are going on your record today. You need to understand that this will have severe consequences in the fact that if you get pulled over, an officer is going to see this. If they come up to your car and they smell alcohol, they smell weed, they smell anything funky, it's probably not going to go well. So don't give them the tools. You know what I mean? It's really easy with one button on a phone. $30 will take you anywhere you want to go with an Uber. It's so much easier, you know? You have to understand that what we're doing today, this proverbial slap on the wrist, I mean, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail on a DWI. Do you understand? All right. You're giving up many rights. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law, and give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You can never take it off. This is what you want to do. How do you plead to the offense of both of the cases? I will find you guilty and I will sentence you on the DWI to 6 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. And on the failure to stop and give information, I will sentence you to 12 days in jail, credit for the 4 days that you've done.
Should be 6 and 6.
No, it's 12 to 4 and 6 to 2.
You didn't see that?
I think it's same thing either way, right?
It's time served.
Yeah, it's time served.
Okay, Donna, I'm sorry, I didn't see that on the
You know-
paper. That's my bad.
You're allowed to make mistakes every once in a while, right? But if you continue to make the same mistake when you endanger other people's lives, there are very serious consequences. There's a surcharge of $3,500 that would tack on this DWI. I'm going to roll it for you today. But you pick up another DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge. Get a clue. It's not hard. I am going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license, and good luck to you.
Thank you,
All right,
Yana.
Tim.
And he can come back here if he needs to get occupational and all that other stuff.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Yana.
Okay.
Can we both be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Riggs, you're charged with criminal mischief and failure to identify oneself as a fugitive from justice. So on the mischief, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On the failure to identify oneself, you're facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 on both cases with credit for the 85 days that you've done. Is this how you understand the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
You need to understand that both of these cases will go on your record.
Yes, sir.
They will be there for the rest of your life. You can never take them off. You give up a lot of rights. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this, there's no turning back. This is what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of failure to identify oneself and criminal mischief? I will find you guilty, sentence you to the agreement. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Got to be careful. You understand? 95% of the people in there, no self-control. Wiggle. without thinking, if I do this, what's going to happen? Hence the mischief. You know what I mean?
No.
Good luck.
Judge,
Thank you. Good evening.
He's there on a BVR, and I think the GPS device has been, the whole issue has been rectified, but I'm not sure. We can check with PT pretrial services there.
What say you?
Judge, I did reach out to the case manager this morning to see Mr. Melendez did check in on the 10th of February to have the device inspected. It was then from the date of the BVR when we lost cell, that cell was then regained on the 10th. And then to my knowledge from the case manager and the device inspectors themselves, they stated that no issues with the charger device were found on our end.
Where's Mr. Melendez now? Come on.
He's there, Judge. Thank you.
Is it operational now?
It's operational as of the 10th when we inspected the device.
Good morning, Mr. Cuevas. Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Is this a first or a second?
First, Your Honor.
True first?
True first, Your Honor.
Okay. So you have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 90 days in jail to be probated for 6 months. You must do a DWI education class, a victim impact panel, and a TRAS. A TRAS is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill those to complete this probation successfully. No drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, and 20 hours of community service. A one-time $100 donation to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You need to understand something, that this DWI is going to go on your record. You will be looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail from now on if you ever pick up another DWI. And just the fact that you have this on your record, you ever get pulled over and you smell like alcohol, it's probably not going to go well for you. So I would never, even if you had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car. You're taking a huge risk. Do you understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify.
Now this is huge, repeat DWI warnings. The judge makes it crystal clear, another bad decision behind the wheel could mean years in prison. Be honest, does fear of harsher punishment actually stop people, or does it just stack the system with repeat offenders?
Confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this probation, it's a contract you're signing with us. You either complete it successfully. If you violate it, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. I'll put you in jail and I'm going to bring you back out. We are only going to talk about if you violate it. If you do, you're looking at up to 90 days in jail. Do you understand?
I also would like, I know you're on our practice immigration law as well, but I also have Mr. Cuevas could also speak with his immigration attorney to make sure he understands if there's any consequences to this plea.
So you have spoken to an immigration lawyer?
Yes.
Great. Do you have any questions? Okay. I'm not going to suspend your license. I don't know what the status of your license is now, but just be careful. If it's suspended, don't drive until you get it back. And you must have liability insurance as well. Okay. How do you plead to the officer? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement, sentence you to it. If you ever have a problem, just come back. We can always help you. We can always work through issues. Money is never a problem. It's doing the stuff that you say you're going to do and do it in on time. All right. Okay. Good luck, guys.